Mastodon.
Triceratops.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at the Zords coming.
Rocket Rangers. That's some Silverstein
Dude, that's the Rangers.
Power Rangers right there. Right?
Some
That was
metal
rocking,
Rangers.
dude. That was epic.
Yeah, that's
right.
Heavy metal Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I always try to look for something that's unique so they can't strike me with copyright, and that was it. So, guys, welcome to today's episode. We are now, what is it? 25 days away from Christmas? 26?
Wow. I didn't even realize it was December.
It's like 20 days.
20? Is it on the 25th or is it on the 31st? 30th? It's on the 25th.
It's the 25th. You're a dad. You have children. How do you not know this?
Fucking liberals.
They're too tiny to realize.
Is that what it is? Did we have to move because the chime changes and stuff?
Oh
they need to cut that crap out. That time change, man.
Dude. Oh man. But yeah, 20 days away from Christmas. And I was going to start wrapping presents today, but I forgot Megan was off, so I had to keep everything in the cupboard hidden away where she can't find them. But we got a good show here going today. We're going to talk about some stuff that's going on in the mainstream, mainly James Gunn and his backpedaling with what he wants to do with DCU.
What?
No, I was having my high hopes.
Oh yeah, and then we've got some good little nostalgia coming back to us, updating it, of course, so we all can enjoy it with today's graphics and music and everything like that. We'll get into that later. But first, I want to shout out Adam Miller. If you don't know who Adam Miller is, he is an artist among any community.
Yeah, he's a good artist.
Living under a rock.
He's the one that did those cards, right?
Yeah, he did the Iron Age Icons card collection with a bunch of us allowing him to use our OCs for his creative outlet, which is making the trading cards and the art book and stuff like that. And for the longest time, he fulfilled that back in September, I think. And I asked him a couple times. I was like, "Hey, dude, did you send mine out yet? Because I live at a new address, and I'm hoping that it didn't go to this one. Here's my new address." Well, when I sent that, he had already started fulfilling. So I had to reach out to my old apartment complex and to the post office. Nobody could tell me where anything was. So I reached out to Adam to be like, "Hey, did they send it back to you maybe with a return address?" He was like, "No, I haven't gotten anything back." So he told me to double up and check again. They give me the BS one more time, and they're like, "Yeah, this item obviously didn't have a return address on it." I told Adam that. He was like, "BS, got you covered. I'll send you out some new stuff." So I finally got my Iron Age Icon collection right here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got the
Good on him.
Yeah, man. Good job, Adam. On that.
Yeah.
Excellent customer service. I got the little collection box that comes with like 8 different packages of actual like card pieces here. So you know how like Pokemon cards come in the little foil packs? Same inside of this.
Wait, so you got like the complete set and then a box of extra cards in the
I got
foil.
a box of the extras where it's each individual card, and then this one is the packages that select them randomly like Pokemon or Digimon.
That's cool. Did he do anything like sketch cards or anything like special cards in those packs?
He did. If you back the big tiers, you got his characters that he hasn't put out yet for his book of Chokeslam and Armature, and they're hollow foil.
Nice.
You can't really tell a hollow foil off of here, but they are.
Yeah,
beautiful.
you can see it.
Oh, dude, I love hollow foil, man. I wasn't sold at first, But that looks beautiful, like that comic I was showing y'all last night.
Yeah, there's the art on the back right there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I haven't even
Adam Miller.
Yeah, shout out to Adam Miller for taking
That was
care
a
of me
cool
like
project.
that.
Yeah,
He's a good dude. He's actually
good on you.
He's actually done the cover art for my 3rd issue of Cobalt that's still being written out.
Oh yeah, that's a good. He's a
stuff,
good
so
choice. His
he's an
artwork's
excellent
similar
choice.
to the other 2 Cobalts.
Oh yeah,
he's got that. No, go ahead.
He's got like that painterly, realistic realism style, which I absolutely love, and it's dynamite.
Yeah. Who's that on Marvel that used to do those really good ones? Is that Hildebrandt?
Oh yeah.
That was really good. His stuff reminds me of that. Yesterday on my show, I was telling, speaking of the holofoils, I got this in the mail.
Snowman.
Yeah, they have it over there on his eBay or whatever. I love this holofoil, and it's kind of crazy with the.
The light's working with the colors. I love it.
Yeah, but dude, yeah, this stuff looks badass.
That's
and this is a good book too, man. It's totally worth it.
And you got a different book over there too that you said you enjoyed.
Actually, here, let me pull it up real quick.
Are we doing this now?
I got
is that
the other Snowman as well.
Okay.
But this one's not holofoil.
There's a different one that I thought we were going to go in the. There
one.
It is.
That one right there.
This one too, and man, it's good. Yeah. It is really good. You missed my rant. I talked about it for like 20 minutes, but
pitter patter.
It's a good book, dude. It's really funny.
Oh my!
I'm not going to say a word. I will. The only thing I got to say about that is that we did talk about it extensively on his thing, and he's got more content coming out on his channel about it. At the very least, it'll be fun just watching what he comes up with.
Yeah, it's going to take me a minute, but that's going to be fun.
So go check out Peter Orchard Studios' channel. It has these 2 guys plus me on it most of the time. It's great content over there too.
Yeah,
I had to cut him out of last night because he didn't want to have anything to do with Pitter Patter.
You're damn right. I don't want to be near that book.
That's why you didn't show up. You knew I was going to talk about that book. Yeah, shame. Yeah. For shame using your children. I use
kids as a shield.
Yeah, kids are sick. I can't.
Kids are
it tonight.
It's disgusting.
Pitter patter.
So we got something interesting going on with James Gunn and his DCU.
What's going on with that?
Let's hear it.
So the idea was that he was going to make this universe and orchestrate it to where it all works cohesively, kind of like the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
Marvel Universe 20 years ago. Yeah, okay.
Right.
They're trying to pull it together finally.
Yeah, and he's
good.
He's backtracked a lot of times, like saying like Blue Beetle was going to be like the starting point for his DCU. Then he backtracked on that because it did so poorly, even though it was a decent film. It reminded me a lot of the Shazam origin movie, and mimicked it a lot with the flying scenes and falling from the sky and shit like that. Very reminiscent of that. Still a fun movie where Blue Beetle looks more like a Super Sentai Power Ranger type character rather than a mechanical scarab taking over him. I guess they didn't want to be too reminiscent of Iron Man for that. But
he's like Iron Man, the Power Ranger, and Spider-Man all rolled up into one. Iron Spider. Or Blue Iron Spider.
I gotta say, dude, like, I'm sorry, I gotta give like my 2 cents on that. Like, the thing that stands out to me about Blue Beetle, and I don't want to be the wet blanket guy, but that movie was basically a vehicle to get Cobra Kai Kid under contract with a movie studio.
Yeah,
they didn't care about the movie, they didn't care about the studio. They had an IP, they had an actor, and they're like, just shit it out.
It's kind of like Black Adam.
I'm not saying it was bad, but it's same thing. No. Yeah, like I don't like that. I don't like it when they do that. Like I want to see them actually take some time and give some care to a movie. And I'm not saying they did a bad job.
Right.
Unfortunately, DC gets the short end of the stick with like a lot of the good movie stuff, because they haven't had a super home run.
And this is
what you get. You get Morpheus, like DC Morpheus with this stuff.
I mean, Blue Beetle wouldn't have been one of my choices, but I didn't read it I didn't really read it. It never seemed interesting to me.
I didn't get into the Blue Beetle comic, but I got into the show Young Justice, and Blue Beetle came up in season 2 in that, and that was the focal point. And season 2 was badass for Blue Beetle. I'm not gonna lie, and so I fell in love with Jaime Reyes and that character and the Scarab and all that stuff. But like Black Adam, Blue Beetle did not deliver anything new or unique that we haven't seen already. So James Gunn backtracked on saying that was the launch of his DCU. And now, as we know, Creature Commandos, which is either on HBO now or just getting there, is going to be the launch pad for the DCU before Superman 2025 comes out.
Hold on, Batman is already in. Aren't they keeping the new Batman, or is that this extended universe shit?
No, they're calling that section of it Elseworlds, like the comics.
Oh, the Elseworlds, that's right.
So, 7 hours ago, James Gunn just wants DC Studios to be able to make a little bit of everything. If that isn't the most,
it's kind of vague and kind of bad because Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, it's milquetoast.
Yeah, they've done that for a long time. Then they don't have the best movies, so it's kind of time to I don't know, put the axe to the grindstone and make some cool shit.
And not to mention, and nothing against that, but dude, that's the beginning. You're beginning your DCU with the Eternals or whatever.
I could have sworn that his DCU intro was going to be Peacemaker. Just me.
You know what? They should have. I'm not.
That's a good pivot. I like that. Yeah.
But Supergirl would have been a good one.
Supergirl? You know what would have been a good one? The Flash. And not the Flash that we got. The Flash from the TV series. I'm never going to end that. I'm never going to stop harping on that. Their television series, their stuff on the WB is good. Why do they ignore
it? The Flash show was pretty good.
Well,
at least the first couple seasons were really good.
The Arrowverse finally died with the finale of Superman and Lois, or Lois and Superman, because as we all know, Lois and Clark was back when Dean Cain was Superman and everything. So.
I liked Lois and Clark. I thought that was a fun show back in the day.
It was fun. Dean Cain.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since then, but he did a great job. Oh.
And for all you DEI checkmark people out there, Dean Cain's original name is Dean C. Tanaka. He is a Japanese American. So we had a Japanese Superman in the 90s. Tell these DEI guys to go fuck themselves.
And he never once wore a raccoon suit.
Nope. Nope. Didn't. He just looked good. He looked the part.
We got some comments in here. Synax says
he was good. He was good.
Sucked.
What do you say?
I was saying Synox in the chat says Blue Beetle sucked. Lackluster.
Agreed.
That's the thing. I haven't even seen it, and I bet it didn't suck. But lackluster. That's the problem. Is that they're just like, let's hammer this thing out.
Yeah.
Move on.
I did like the Batman movie, and I hate to say that, but not because of Batman or the story was okay. It was the Riddler that sold me. I love the Riddler. That actor's hilarious. I love that guy.
That's funny. I'll say I didn't hate Robert Pattinson, and I really wanted to.
I didn't hate him,
but I didn't hate him. I did not like Riddler. Did not work for me at all.
Really?
We differ on that one.
The Riddler's too much like the Joker, just with the hat. So he got to. To me, I like that they changed him up a bit and made him like a conspiracy theorist, like an Alex Jones kind of guy.
I don't entirely agree with this, but I think there's a basis here. They have good stories. They have good characters.
Right.
The problem is like they did a good job. I will stand by my comments. They did a good job with a lot of the stuff they did on the WB. They cannot carry that into movies. Like they just have the hardest time translating.
But how can you say that when they brought back the Batman?
What do you mean they brought
the what's his name? The original.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Oh no, he was a Superman.
No, that's what I'm saying. What the hell can't I remember his name now? Fucking Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, Michael
not
Keaton.
George Keaton.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. So the joke here being, of course, that they simply recreated, the nostalgia thing that we got with Spider-Man, which wasn't a great movie. It was fun, and it was like the one time when you get a pass on the multiverse, bring back all the characters. BS. Now that's been done. Move on.
Yeah, and to be honest, like The Flash was not an entertaining movie. Like Spider-Man wasn't the best movie that whatever when they brought all the other Spider-Mans. It's not like that was the most amazing movie ever, but it was a lot of fun. Just like Deadpool Wolverine, the story wasn't like amazing, but it was a really fun movie to watch.
Yeah. So
Deadpool Wolverine was not a good movie, and we can discuss that later. I finally saw it. I saw it a couple days ago. Not a good movie.
Fuck you. That movie was fun, dude.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fan service. The characters were great.
Yeah,
there was no story. There was no nothing. There was no spine to that movie.
But it was still a fun movie to watch. Like I don't even care that there wasn't a story to it.
No, it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Not a good movie.
But James Gunn had an interview with Variety. And he described Creature Commandos, which is now on HBO, the animated show. It's going to be an adult show with an R rating. So it's not going to be
more of that in comic books.
And he said that's going to be like the soft intro. It's not going to waste any time establishing metahumans, monsters, or magic. All those are going to be core parts of the DC Studios DC universe. And Gunn noted that part of the reason he felt so hard-headed about greenlighting Creature Commandos was it boiled down to like the simple fact in animation it basically costs as much to create a battlefield as it does to create a kitchen. So it's cheap to do it animation style and see how people respond to it.
Oh, is that why they're putting the cartoon out?
Right. So if he says it felt like a good jumping off point because of its ability to convey to audiences that DC Studios isn't really going to be limited to
the cartoon
family fare. Yeah,
but again, that's another problem with not just DC, but mostly DC is this darker and a little bit of Marvel. The rated R darker avenue they're going with the Batman Caped Crusader. Let's. As you know, it had its good aspects to it, but I am so angry at what they did in some. And it's Batman, and it's not just Batman. It's Batman, like the animated series for the kids who grew up watching that, which is great. But you're not like I don't know if I want my kids watching that. You know what I mean? It's not for the new generations of kids.
Yeah,
which. Mixed bag on that one because then they're going to throw in. They already throw in enough propaganda in that shit.
Well, Synox, this animation isn't going to be like Invincible's animation. It's actually going to have some money behind it, and so yeah.
I thought Invincible was all right.
No, it's good. It's just that animation you could tell first season and some second season they didn't really put.
They did cut corners, a little bit on that anime.
Yeah,
and. But
that's fine. Animation, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm all right with this. But this is, again, it kind of comes back to, like, the point that I keep, like, just really, like, beating the dead horse with is you do TV well. Your animated TV shows, you do well. Yeah. Land a movie. Give me a good movie.
Like The Killing Joke.
James Gunn.
Freaking awesome movie. You know, they have some really badass. If they want to do Elseworlds, I'm almost on the point where they tried to do the whole universe thing, the DC universe, and they didn't do it right. And maybe they got to do some Elseworlds for a little while, but until they get their act together, and figure it out instead of just jumping into a new DCU.
I feel like they rely far too heavily on focus groups.
Well, I also heard that Warner Brothers is getting ready to sell. So the reason that they're doing all these different IPs that people don't know and do know, like Wonder Woman, Green Lanterns, Batman, Superman, all these different IPs.
Creature
They're
Commandos.
having to bump them up to show that DC has some weight behind it for it to be sold off and to make money off of it later down the line.
And that continues ownership of the IP.
Right.
So yeah.
I think
that's probably Blue Beetle right there.
And Commanders.
Yeah, the Creature Commandos I didn't even know about until all of this.
Right.
And the cartoon looks pretty cool. The movie, I don't remember seeing any pictures of it, but I could see it being an okay movie. But it'd be like the Suicide Squad if they don't do it just right.
And Hellboy.
Yeah,
I will say, Hellboy. That's a good one. They've got some. They need to. Yeah, Hellboy's a good one. A good example. I will go ahead and say, fair deal. Warner Brothers. I got like $25. Final bid. Final offer.
I'll buy that Flash off you for.
No. They can keep Flash. I don't give. I want the TV one. I'll take that Flash. Your other one, you can keep it.
How much for Ezra Miller?
Wait, I take it back. I want Ezra Miller. I want him to have to report to my desk, my $25 desk.
I got a role for you, boy.
Yeah, we're going to talk some business now.
Wolverine. Ezra. I'm telling you, he'd be the best Wolverine.
So outside of James Gunn and everything, we got some new nostalgia coming back to us in some video games. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are still
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, I don't know do you guys still play video games, or would you if you saw this come up?
Yeah, I do.
Well, check this out. Let me full blow this thing.
That Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was a really good addition to the Ninja Turtle arcade stuff. That was a fun game.
This one's not going to be, and I'll show you why.
Oh, yeah.
Hi again, guys. April O'Neil here, and I have some exciting news to share today. The Ninja Turtles are out saving the city yet again. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are a lot of new faces around. Mutant faces. And not all of them are friendly. So it's up to the Turtles to do something about it. Luckily, each of them has their own unique way of dealing with unexpected problems. But who are these new mutants? And what do they want? If you ask me, it's like proofs of concept. Or some strange experiments, maybe? Hopefully the Turtles can find out what's really going on. They should have a bunch of friends to help them now. Or not?
What the
And who's to say our turtle teens can't learn a few new tricks themselves? Or even make new friends from all across this famously friendly city? What do you guys think? Was that okay?
Oh my god.
Do I need another take?
Rated F.
Yes, you need another fucking take, because those graphics are horrid.
Not to mention, I don't like the designs for these the redesigns for these characters.
Right. I don't either.
The Mutanimals or whatever, like they look like shit. Bebop and Rocksteady look like shit.
I wouldn't mind if they actually went balls to the wall with the graphics animation that were in the movie. But this looks like a
Slash.
This looks like a GameCube game. This looks like a PlayStation game, not new gen.
Yeah.
This looks old gen.
And then Ninjas and Turtles in Manhattan was a great game, and this looks like a cheap kind of like they took that engine and then just changed
and they paid someone to make assets, plugged it into an engine, and it's there's a name for that game. It's like Horizon reskinned.
We fooled
Sinai. It's like a reskinned game.
He was about it until I said this is bullshit.
Yeah, like I want to be. There were moments in there when I was watching that, and what I saw was like Ninja Turtles sandbox, like as a kid playing with your toys, and you have a sandbox now and you can like open world and stuff. And then as I watched it more and more, I was like, I see repeating elements in move sets, and I see like some graphics levels that I just didn't like. And it's one
of those games where you follow the path. It's not an open world, from what I understand.
Yeah, it looked linear,
and those are just boring. They're not as fun. especially when you got open world games out there. You have
It
to put a
can
lot.
be, but
the Wolverine game,
but
was
an
fun,
open world.
But yeah, open world.
Imagine Horizon, but Ninja Turtles. That'd be kind of cool.
We got the PS5. There's no excuse anymore why they can't have amazing graphics in an open world. Like you've got No Man's Sky, which is like an almost infinite universe you can explore. Now it's obviously repetitive, the elements throughout to makes it easier to compute, but they're even beating that with the PS5.
See, there was a game that came out on Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 or 3, I can't remember, but it was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan.
Yeah,
and
that game was badass.
Were the shit. They did like a gear system where you could upgrade your weapons, your martial arts skills, your powers.
It was a
Some
fun
RPG elements would be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it had the Wolverine game actually, where you could get like new skills and stuff if you unlock.
Yeah,
you'd like find them.
And not only that, it had the graphics of the IDW comics,
which I didn't like at the time. I'm a fan. I'm more of a fan now of the graphics, but the game was so good that I didn't even care about those IDW turtles.
It was so good. I loved it. I played it through like 10 times. It was great. But they gave this
looks like an asset. It looks like an asset flip with some cinema scenes in it.
Yeah.
And some of the cinema scenes I saw a video about this, and is it Bebop? Like his animation causes his tits, like somebody animated his tits bouncing. Like they have boob. What do you call that? The boob physics.
Physics.
I'm okay. Like I will sign off on boob physics, and not necessarily for this purpose, but I understand their value in the
Well, they got it for April too, but it's in her belly.
You ain't lying.
They got that all wrong.
Yeah.
Did you realize there's a B character in that game, in his name? And I'm curious because I didn't know. I don't think this is in the original Ninja Turtles, but I might be wrong. There's a character in there called Rumblebee.
Yep.
That's a Cyber Frog character. So now I'm kind of curious, is Rumblebee a recreation of an old character like most of the rest of them? Or is it a new character and they totally ripped off that? And
or they did it unintentionally in this asset flip. They just threw a name on it and didn't check for existing licenses.
Yeah.
That's probably more along the lines of what happened, because I do see a lot of mainstream taking from smaller creators that aren't known.
It has been happening more.
Okay. I got a question for you, and I apologize for interrupting. If you wouldn't mind, at some point here, who is the developer of this game?
For the Ninja Turtle one, it's
that new one.
I'm not sure. I know it's under Nickelodeon.
Like, what studio is developing it?
What engine are they using?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care what engine so much, but like, is this like, okay, so what I'm getting at, is this Bethesda? Is it Ubisoft? Is it Square Enix? Or is this fucking Arcane Austin that just got shut down? You know what I mean? Like,
no, this was developed by, I think it's a new studio called A Heart Full of Games, and it's published by Outright Games. These are new.
Never heard of them.
The game
that's great. Let's hand our established IP over to like these 23-year-olds right out of college.
A Heart Full of Games and Outright Games. I've never heard of either one of those.
Right. So that I was very disappointed with that, but then this gave me this gave me a breath of fresh air. I was like, yes, this is taking me back to when I actually played these games, and we're going to share that right now.
All right.
So,
fantasy violence. Get the fuck out of here.
You don't like fantasy and your violence?
Hasbro.
Okay. Retro.
What's Hasbro own right now? They own Power Rangers.
Do they own anything else?
I'll destroy you all! Are you there, Rangers?
Rangers, can you hear me?
You forfeit time! Let's do this, team!
Go Power Rangers!
how this will end. Woo! Join in the party.
Oh, that looks like the second stage of the Ninja Turtle arcade game.
We need Megazord power.
Contra. You got some Contra in there.
That's enough out of you.
Interesting with the first person stuff.
Right?
Yeah, and I saw Turtles in Time. That's the level where you got to fight the bad guy from inside the ship by throwing. Well, I guess that's third person. You'd be throwing at the bad guy who is the first person. So it's like third person.
Yeah. I like the 32-bit, 16-bit pixel art stuff. I like that approach to this. I like it. I don't know if they accomplished it on this, but I appreciate what they're going for. Those cutscenes, like they're real heavy on cutscenes.
Yeah, the cutscenes.
Gameplay looked a little repetitive.
The game,
but it's also like like your typical SNES beat 'em up. And
I hope that it's longer than most of those old arcade games. Those old arcade games were like 7 levels, and if they're gonna go retro graphics and kind of tone down and make it like go with the old engines, they should stretch that game out, or at least make it do some really. They can do way more than they did back then, so they should really push the boundaries. Of that kind of game.
So this one looked great to me because I played the Power Ranger scroll game that came out back in 2017 or 19 called Mega Battle. The art was fantastic, but if you want to talk about repeat, like just another like bash with not a bunch of replay value, that was it. Because that was just the same old fucking moves over and over.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that. It looks similar. The Power Rangers have never had... this game does look kind of fun. Like, it's like, let's get the Super Nintendo out and play, what should have been the Power Rangers game. Because
it reminds me of the old school... It reminds me of the old school Battletoads games where you actually did the side-scrolling, but then you got to get on the vehicles. You got to, go through, maps of jumping shit and shooting shit.
Yeah, like the Contra too.
Right. One of the things that turned me off watching this just now, I'll say, is they had the. I like that they changed it for being side scroller to they had that behind the bicycle riding, shooting stuff. Like I like that, but then they had the scene where they're all in their Zords things. I wasn't a big Power Rangers fan, sorry, but like Peter was, so I got all my information from him. But they've got them in their things, and it's like. Instead of giving them this big beat 'em up thing, which we did see with the first person perspective thing at the end, but for a second there, they had that racing scene, first person or third person behind the back with
F-Zero.
It looked like F-Zero, but all 5 of them all just running next to each other, doing the exact same thing you were doing on the bikes, and that kind of turned me off a hair.
Here's one.
Otherwise, look good.
For what they're doing, this looks really fun. It looks like they're doing a good job. However, with what we've got available now, I want to know how many players this is and how many characters can you be? Because Power Rangers is a big, extensive universe.
Is it couch co-op? Can I sit down with my daughter and play this, or does it have to be online?
I can't imagine that they would not make this unavailable for co-op mode. Even online, or just on the couch.
Should have it online
because there are 5 Rangers, not including the 6th Ranger, green or white. So there are plenty of characters for you to choose from. Now, if you want to play as the bad guys, that'd be unique. That might be like an add-on download DLC content later on.
Well, there's enough good guys to choose from too.
Oh, most definitely.
It'd be kind of cool to be a bad guy, but I want to.
Do you get
Zords from the Zeo Rangers and the originals and the? I want to take all of them and make a super mega ultra fucking beep. You know what I mean?
Right.
Zord. That's what I want to do.
Can we choose
world?
Didn't they switch out a couple of the Rangers, like the Black Ranger and the Blue Ranger quit halfway through or something? Or did they just reuse footage of them?
Yeah, they didn't think they were getting paid enough, so a lot of them bailed.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame them on that, but
I don't blame them.
So
do you have the option of both Black Rangers?
Oh, Adam or Zach? I probably not.
Probably it's just the suit, right?
Yeah.
But now this begs the question: if this is a good game, when are we going to get what we all want, which is the open world Power Ranger game? You know,
Right.
like Grand Theft Auto, but Power Rangers, and
Yeah.
you can call the Zords from all the universes and bring them space, all the different series, bring them in, battle them all.
If you want to do that, they need to bring out the Power Rangers Shattered Grid storyline.
Yeah, the Shattered Grid was pretty good.
And then they need to put it on the same system that Star Wars Battlefront was. That would be epic.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Which one did you like best? I was always a Battlefront 2 guy. I like Battlefront 1 and the old PS2. Battlefront 2 was great. It was actually better in my opinion. But then they came out with the PS4 Battlefront, and I didn't like it at first. But then I played it more and more, and man, I got to say that one was my favorite one. Not Battlefront 2 on the PS4, but the first one was. I was addicted to that game.
My favorite, because I played Star Wars on PC first rather than a game system, which is what I grew up on. But I played Coder, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
I fucking fell in love with
game.
that game. That was
that's a very highly rated game.
It's probably the best Star Wars online game. Or
I think
whatever.
so. I played the shit out of Coder too.
It was a cool game. I never played it, but I had a lot of friends that played it, and I watched lots of people play that game. But I never had a computer back then that could handle it.
He sat there all sad.
Yeah. When I finally got a laptop, I got Star Trek Online. I waited.
Wow.
I pre-ordered it. I got the super mega package. I waited in line for GameStop to open or do the midnight thing, whatever, so I could be my first ones to get my hands on it. And then I realized my computer couldn't handle it, and I had to go take it to work and use a work computer. And the game was just kind of not there yet.
Right.
And
Every now and then a game comes out and I'm like, I want to be a day one. I want to be beta. You know, I want to be in on like the initial things of the whole thing.
Yes.
Anyway, whatever. I have not gotten in on day one of a game in well over probably 15 years.
I'm sorry.
If ever. It might have been before that. And a large reason of that is because of what he went through with Star Trek. Like, I was enjoying his experience vicariously, and seeing that go down the way it did, it hurt my heart.
It took me weeks to be able to play that game, and then I was kind of like not impressed. And then years later, it's free now. It's all free
assholes.
Now.
I fucking hate you both.
But yeah, Battlefront was one that I wanted. What was one that I got in on first day? The last time I got in.
You know what? The other thing. So, like, you had the Star Trek thing. I like the basketball video games. I like the old NBA Live games. Like, I was a big fan of those. So the very last, it ended up not being the last, but what would have been the last NBA Live game. I had money. I was working at the time, so I was like, I'm going to be day one on NBA Live, whatever year it was. I'm doing it, going all in. Okay. And so I pre-ordered it, I did the whole thing, and the day it dropped, like the whole deal was I had to like walk in or whatever to go like get the copy. I don't remember what the deal was, but I go in to get my copy, and they're like, "Yeah, this game's been delayed. They're actually going to cancel it, but they haven't told you that yet. But we know they're going to cancel the game." And so I had to get the refund and go through all that shit. They ended up not dropping the game. And that was it. After his experience and after my NBA Live experience, that was like NBA Live is like 2008 or something. So
right.
There was a couple like 15 years ago that
Cyberpunk was another one that got me.
I didn't do the wait in line thing for that. Black Ops is one. We waited for because we were playing Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Black Ops we got it quick. Not like first day.
It wasn't day one, but it was like that week.
Yeah. No Man's Sky was again like one of those early games. Like I got it early on, but not first day. There was a couple that I did get first day.
I probably would have done Starfield, but I'm a PlayStation guy, so fuck me.
The The last one I did first day was Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah, you got good taste.
And I played the shit out of that. I actually wish I had a Twitch account when I started playing that game because it was so hype right back then.
I did a red box with that game. And then, dude, oh man, we used to kill it. Me and my wife used to get red box and then beat the game overnight. And save ourselves $60 every time, man. You could just tell there were games that weren't going to be worth it. So we'd go get them. She actually was really good at beating games. Mass Effect was one, but not when it first came out. The remaster, I was like a first day backer. I was a first day on that one because I love Mass Effect. That game, that whole trilogy is awesome.
Okay. So if neither one of those games appealed to you, then this little teaser is definitely going to.
They looked all right.
Yeah, they're good. I'm not opposed to either of them.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is a good.
I think I know where this is going. Yep, I saw that.
Yeah. That is going to be a badass game, and I didn't even need to see any game footage to know that. The trailer alone was pretty good, man. That's
right.
Pretty touching trailer. So
the last Ronin brought Kevin Eastman back to write a Ninja Turtle story, and
I was gonna say I saw Eastman on there.
And this one took.
Have you read it?
No, I haven't, but I'm about to get the hardcover for it. And
I've got the hardcover around here somewhere.
Oh man! So you speak to it more than I do, but this comic series was so hype when it first came out.
Yeah,
so many people talked about it. It was an excellent story. It was more adult themed, which is what the game's going to go by. This game's going to have an R rating like the book did.
Nice. And I like that. They got some spine.
I don't remember the book being that R rated.
Well, apparently they're keeping the blood and everything in this one.
I guess if that makes it R rated. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Well, if not R, it's going to be MA, right? Mature adult.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Definitely.
So, but if you don't know the storyline, 3 brothers die, 1 turtle survives.
Spoilers!
You don't know?
That's the first page.
Dude, this story is
first page.
This story is like 5 years old now. If you haven't read it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Anybody who has not
I'm familiar with it, but that guy might not be. He's watching. He might not know about it.
Go read it, and then spoilers alert, and then we'll.
Yeah, spoilers always happen on this channel. But
they know it's Donatello now.
Nope, you're wrong.
Dude, I gave you an out.
You're wrong.
Shredder. No, but that was an amazing book, and that game's got to be badass.
Oh, it's going to be so good, man. Bring in the descendant of Oroku Saki to take on the last remaining turtle. You got androids, you've got aliens, you've got...
What kind of game is this going to be? Is this going to be Ghost of Tsushima? Is it going to be...
No.
Elden Ring?
No, apparently it's going to be open world like the Arkham games.
Though that'd be badass.
That'd be good. I could see that. That would be badass.
It definitely needs to be an open world game. It's kind of like if Mad Max were an open world game.
Yeah,
not Mad Max. What was that?
They have a badass Mad Max open world game. It's highly underrated.
Max. What was that game called where you could take the drugs and then slow down time? Max Payne. It's like
Max Payne.
I see Max Payne in an open world format. That's kind of how I would imagine this game would be.
That would be perfect for this.
Shoot 'em up. moving
I
up the
wanna
ladder
see-
kind of a deal.
I want to see Metal Gear Solid, but with the Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, Metal
You
Gear
get
Solid was
that.
badass.
I'm not. That's not a joke, Jake. I saw you laughing at it. It's not a joke. That'd be badass.
It kind of has to be because he's like sneaking in to like the compound. So yeah, I could see that, or siphon filter or something.
Well,
Mhm.
see, they did the comic book last Ronin, and now they're about to do the video game because there's whispers of them trying to turn the last Ronin into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they need to do that. I mean, I don't know
Mhm.
how you not. But here's the problem. The problem is what they just put out as a movie, and then we had that first game we looked at. They're
Right.
not. They don't have a good track record lately for making
Yeah.
movies. In fact, there was only one really good movie, and then there's like one okay movie.
TMNT 3.
Yeah, TMNT3.
No,
The first one was the movie. Then
1990.
and then I would say maybe it's a mix between part 2 and the TMNT. Those two movies are like
2007, yeah.
yeah. It wasn't bad. It was weird, but it wasn't bad. I didn't like the style, the anime. I didn't like the way they looked in that movie, but the story was fine.
CGI, well, yeah, computer animated graphics back then were still on edge with not getting everything completely right. So
Yeah.
but story wise, it was okay. We're talking about the 2007 film. It was okay, but the thing that ruined it was that trope of the stars align and these monsters open a portal to come take over the earth.
Yeah,
I've
just
heard
give me
that
more
a
Krang.
million times.
But we don't need.
Yeah.
We still didn't get Krang or Bebop, Rocksteady,
No.
or any of that. That's the
I would
only
much
thing we
rather
wanted.
have that. I would rather see Karai because Shredder wasn't in the film. I would rather see his daughter, Karai, take over the foot, see what it's like having her be a competitor against the Turtles because she was a badass for a while Shredder was gone. She's in the fucking IDW comics getting ready to take over. I mean, there's so much that
They
could
should
go on.
remake the third movie using the IDW Four Brothers thing, right? Because when they go back in time and then
That one, yeah.
yeah, they could totally remake that third movie. Who didn't somebody retcon a movie recently or do something like Dragon Ball Z did? Retcon that, or maybe I'm thinking of that comic book, the Batman. Where they
Oh
were
my
gonna
God,
make,
I feel like I'm listening to fucking producers. Here's how you retcon this so that we can.
No, they made a Batman '89 comic book where they basically were going to remake the third and fourth to continue the movies, right? The way they should have been. Like, do something like that, but with the Ninja Turtles, with that, just get that fucking movie out of here and do a better job with it. With even CGI could do a better job than that.
Have you seen that guy? He just exploded on YouTube probably 2-3 months ago or whatever, I think. But his whole thing is he films documentaries of himself where he was like a member of the Foot Clan in the Ninja Turtles movies.
Those are funny.
I love that guy.
those
He
are good.
completely like envisioned like he realigned my vision of the first couple of movies.
Yeah, it does kind of change your perspective when you're like when you watch those videos.
He's like we were sitting there fighting the turtles and they just fucking pushed Shredder off of a roof into a trash compactor and they hit the button and squished him. Who does that? They should go on trial for that. We never did that. We stole TVs.
It's called I was a teenage Foot Clan ninja.
I was
There's a part 1 and a part 2, and they're both fun. I mean, they're great.
But yeah, man, those games I'm highly looking forward to just because it brings back that good old nostalgia and updates it for us.
Yeah, and that last Ronin one, like, I'm going to say, like, I have to say, because of the games industry being what it is now, I'm a little tentative on anything. We didn't see gameplay, so I'm like, I have to take a back seat and be like, I don't know. I'm not going to be day one because I haven't seen gameplay. That sucks.
It's going to be
the premise.
Yeah.
I'll totally be day one on that one.
I don't know if I'll be day one, but I'm gonna wait and see what the graphics look like. The graphics is going to be amazing. I want to see what kind of game they're making. Because if that other game is a game they're making, What company's making Last Ronin? It better be a company I've heard of.
I didn't recognize the names, but that's not always a bad thing.
No,
we hammered on that a second ago. Hey, you don't need to do that, but it's easy to hammer on when you see the gameplay on that other game, and you're like, "Oh God, the graphics sucks," and it looks like a reskin, and it looks generic with some cutscenes. It's easy to shit on those guys, but the guys who redid, the guys who did New Vegas. That wasn't Bethesda.
All right, here we go. Let's look into this. Let's see if we can figure out what kind of game this is going to be. I'm looking at the company THQ Nordic GmbH.
And Black Forest
game. THQ's been around for a while.
All right, so they've got under their belt the Disney Epic Mickey Mouse game, Outcast, Gothic, South Park, Snow Day. I don't know any of these games. I don't know if they're good at.
One of the South Parks.
Those were good.
Alone in the Dark?
There was Alone in the Dark, I think, was a good game. I want to say the South Park game, there was one of them that was a highly underrated, really well done RPG.
This one's
the Fractured Butthole.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
was that the really good one?
Destroy
I like how it requires hand movements.
Yeah.
They did the Destroy All Humans, the Chronos, some Star Wars games.
Everybody's done a Star Wars game. That doesn't mean anything.
LGN.
I've seen enough angry video game nerd to laugh at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like looking at some of these other games. Star Wars: The Jedi Knight Collection. Have you heard of that?
Star Wars and Jedi
Knight. I don't trust anything Star Wars unless it's Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefield. Like I actually, except for like the travesty of the last one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The Fallen Order was pretty good.
No, I'm sorry. I meant the last of the Battlefield ones because of the microtransaction horseshit that they went through on that.
Oh yeah, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
They got Darksiders. I remember hearing about that game. I don't remember.
That one's got a name to it. These are not terrible. This is not a terrible lineup of games.
No. But
it's not From Software. It's not.
I don't know. Maybe it's like their engine, because some of those games I do remember being kind of.
I bet they're all UE5 now. I bet they use Unreal Engine.
Which one was Alone in the Dark? That one sounds familiar.
Oh, I don't remember. Alone in the Dark was one of the first games I played back in the early 90s. That game freaked me the fuck out. The graphics were so horrible, but it freaked me out. My dad would always turn off the lights to make me play that game.
Oh, I'm looking at the PS5 Alone in the Dark game, and you're like, the graphics sucked. I'm like, the graphics look kind of good.
No, I'm
they're not bad. For a 90s PS5 game, this is all right.
It's the PS5 version of the game. Of course, the graphics look good. Xbox XS. I don't know. Those, I'm a little nervous now. I'll just say that because I'm not seeing anything.
No, some of those names, like I have enough, they don't have any home runs, I don't think. Alone in the Dark might have been. And if it's that South Park game I'm thinking of, that was a home run. So there's some possibility there that this is something.
They made Star Wars Republic Commando and Star Wars Racer.
No.
Star Wars Racer was kind of fun. I had a lot of fun. I don't remember Republic Commando. Jedi Knight Collection. What the fuck is the Jedi Knight Collection? Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast.
I never played those.
Yeah. There's been more Star Wars games than like any other IP in the history of anything in the world.
That's because everybody just wants to hold a fucking lightsaber. That's it.
Yeah, and it's also because they will hand that IP to anybody.
Yeah.
I think it was LJN or LGN, whatever it is. I think they did the series on the Super Nintendo, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I have no doubt they'd have at least done 2.
That Super Nintendo Star Wars game was the bomb, dude. That was the best freaking game.
Take that, angry video game nerd.
Yeah, I know he doesn't like it, but he doesn't like the
Jaws was an awesome game.
Jaws was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was.
It's a Jaws game. That's like it should have been called like Scuba Diver Death or Scuba Diver something like Scuba Danger. I don't know.
I'd rather play that dolphin game again.
Echo.
Was that Aliens?
It was Aliens.
Wasn't it Aliens that was the bad guy in that game?
It was Aliens. Underwater
Dolphins
aliens.
had to save us.
Yep,
that was a
from the
fun
aliens.
game, though. Doing those little
That sounds like
blasts.
something the millennials would eat the fuck out of today.
You would think.
That was one of the only games on the Genesis that I actually liked. I mean, there was like a handful of games that were better than the Super Nintendo, like the X-Men game.
The Jurassic Park game.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park was a little better. Aliens was a little better. Sonic was not better than Mario, but it was a fun game.
It was fun. This is something that today's generation is missing, is that dynamic, the dichotomy of Mario and Sonic.
No, the greatest Sonic game that you will ever play will be Sonic Pinball.
I like pinball.
It was on Sega Genesis, and that game was the shit. It was epic because you would be.
Oh yeah,
Sonic.
he was the
Sonic.
pinball.
Yeah, he was the pinball, and you took out Dr. Robotnik's things. You would collect the gems that were in like bats of acid, and you have to empty out the acid as you were being like pinged around this table, which was actually like a map. It didn't look like an actual pinball table.
It looked like a level.
It was a stage, right? And it was epic, man. I loved the hell out of that game.
That one was pretty fun, but Nintendo had way more better games. Like on the whole, Super Nintendo had way more games that were good. Sega had a couple that were better than the Super Nintendo versions, but I don't think they had anything that was just better than any Super Nintendo game. You take the best Sega game, the best Super Nintendo game, Nintendo I think is going to have the better game.
Well, you got to realize that Nintendo came out first, and it wasn't until like 5-6 years later that Sega was like, "Hey, let's make a console." And then there was Genesis.
Just like that. They're playing Mario, going, "Hey, let's make a console." Yeah, we could do this,
dude. And look, they're like Sega Genesis. That was a. It is very sad to see what happened to Sega after the Genesis. The Dreamcast, the 32X, all of those systems they had, they completely failed at launching every single one of those. Like there's a couple of them that like still hold weight today, but you don't know.
No.
Yeah, was
that Aliens game was on one of them that was amazing.
What is one game that was on specifically any one of those systems outside of Sega Genesis? The Sega CD, Saturn, all that shit. What was one good game that wasn't on any other system?
The Alien game. And I don't remember what it was. Was the Alien Isolation?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was an Alien game that was badass on one of them. It was revolutionary.
I don't know if it was only available on Sega Genesis, but the game called Booger Man.
I remember
that was on Super Nintendo.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
okay.
That was on all the systems. Just like Earthworm Jim.
Was it, or did we had Toe Jam and Earl? I don't know if we had Booger Man.
Sega had Toe Jam and Earl also.
Yeah.
No, Booger Man. I remember seeing that in Wizard magazines. Or it was either Wizard or like the old comics. They had like multiple page spread, like multiple ad pages. And it starts off with him like picking his nose, and 3 pages later you go through the whole booger strand, and it's like his finger. That was funny.
It was good, man. It was a fun game. Yeah, that
Zombies Ate My Neighbors was another fun one back around that time.
Okay. The last one that we're going to do before we jump onto a comic that you wanted me to look at, but I wasn't available. So I'm going to look at it.
Are we doing this? Is that? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
What's up, Darren Wagner? Mo Biggs? Are they all just pouring in now? Did somebody's stream just end? We're just getting.
I guess so. What up, Mo Biggs?
Welcome
to the party.
Bow.
All right. We're going to look at this one thing, and then we're going to look at that comic that we didn't get to look at over on your channel. So here we go.
3 seconds.
Nah, we got time. I'll make time. Get that out of the way.
Haven't heard of Fathom. Did we see gameplay with that? That was all cutscenes.
No, dude, that is a new show. That is
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought we were looking at games. So my thought on that immediately was like, this looks like a show. I'm good with that. I thought it was a game.
No, so Dragon Ball Daima came out when there became a hiatus for the show Dragon Ball Super, right? After Akira Toriyama passed away, they put Dragon Ball Super on a hiatus. And Dragon Ball Daima was the last thing Akira Toriyama wrote for Dragon Ball, and they wanted to get it out there for everybody, for the fans. So this is Akira Toriyama's story, and it takes place before GT, before Super, right after the Majin Buu saga. So we're getting more lore with the Majins, we're getting more lore with the Namekians, we're getting more lore with the Kais, and it is beautifully done. If you just saw the animation and the art behind the characters, this is...
They did do a good job bringing it back to Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Like the voices, and I guess it's the same voice, but the animation looks the same. I fell asleep to it. I put it on. You told me we want to talk about it, so I put it on, and then I fell asleep.
No, you're good.
But it did look cool. I probably will sit down and watch it.
It's only 9 episodes long because they're going to do it as a series. And so the first 9 episodes, just a little spoiler. So everybody's adult at the beginning, right? And then Dabura, who was under Babdi's control with Buu, right? When they were trying to unlock Buu.
Yeah.
Dabura was killed by Buu. So now the throne of the Demon King of the underworld is open. And so this little short stack, I forget his name, wants to take over being the king of the underworld now. And the Supreme Kai's brother is helping him get the throne. And then the Supreme Kai's sister, who is with his other brother in the underworld, is trying to take out the throne from under them. So there's a lot going on with this story. But dude, the animation, the art,
it looks really good.
Notch.
I could do without the Majins. The whole Boo shit pissed me off. I watched it, but I deleted it from my brain because it was perfect with Cell. That's the way it should have ended. Now, if they had done this after Cell and kind of like revitalized the franchise or something, and that does sound like a pretty cool story. And now that he's dead, and this is the last piece we got from him, I'm kind of concerned what they're going to do next. Well, they're going to make the Kai, the Supreme Kai, whatever. They're going to start making him like they do Professor X dirty. They're going to be like, look, what's the dark side of these guys? We need to know why they're actually the bad guys.
Nah. So from what I've seen for the first season, is everybody is still respectively how they were in the show or in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
And when the guy wants to take over the throne where Dabura used to, reign over the demon realm, he starts looking into how Boo and everybody was, eliminated. And they found out it was the Saiyans. So they went to the Earth realm to gather the Dragon Balls. And because for some reason they didn't want to kill, the dragon, Shinron can't kill, right? So what he does instead is make them all young again to where they're not a threat. And boy, does that go awry.
I like what Mo Biggs has said. For the record, I like this stream because of the panel, not the topic.
You have excellent taste, sir.
I actually understand what you're saying because I know enough about, I've watched enough Dragon Ball Z to kind of I remember most of that stuff.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is all totally Greek to me. I never watched a single episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball all the way up to Cell. Dragon Ball Z all the way up to Cell was great. Yeah. Then they did Majin Buu. They just kept going after they had a perfect ending. Majin Buu saga was kind of fucking retarded. Stupid. And then they said, okay, we're going to end Dragon Ball Z here, and now let's do Dragon Ball GT, which was even worse. And so then they said, let's reboot let's retcon GT and let's make Super. Yeah. And then that kind of fell off because it was pretty good at first, and then it fell off. So now they're making this one, and it takes place before GT, which is where Super was supposed to take place, but it's before Super, and it's kind of a mess. But I will say that Dragon Ball Z, as a mess as it has become, is still kind of a based show. They never once did they go down any kind of DEI bullshit. Mm-mm. And I will give it to them for that. It's worth watching. It's a good show.
Dragon Ball
stuff I don't know about.
No, Dragon Ball Daima goes back to the old formula of the original Dragon Ball. It makes it zany, it makes it campy, but you still get the action.
Zayd, what's up, man?
What up, Zayd? But it still brings in the action that Z and Super and all of them had. It just
which was awesome.
Yeah, it just makes it better. Like you saw how those Kai beams were shown when they were shot. It was electric. It was magnetic. It was bright. It was exuberant. I can't talk enough about this show because it was so good. I want season 2 now.
All right, you got me sold. I'll try and stay awake for it this time. I'll put it on tonight and then try not to fall asleep, but no promises because I got work in the morning. But
how?
Yeah.
All right. So we're done with all those goodies. If you want to look at the video games that we looked over, you got to go back and rewatch this whole episode. But now we're going to get
fun.
It was from the beginning all the way to the end. That way, get the watch time, and it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. By the way, you're here now. Like, share, subscribe, please.
Yeah. And then go over to my channel and then like, share, and subscribe.
Exactly.
YouTube has a thing where they come over, they audit them if you don't.
Yeah. It's been doing dirty.
What was this comic that you wanted me to look at?
Oh, here we go.
The name of it. Here we go. We got to look at this thing.
Teasing it. I didn't know you were doing this.
I teased it yesterday and then realized I was over on time, so... You know what? Speaking of which, we should probably just do this next time.
That's exactly what he did last night.
That's exactly what he did last night. But
okay.
Well, okay, hold on. What was the name of that book? That was on my comic, right?
In the chat. I'm about
Peter's
to go
Pumpkin.
Peter's Pumpkin.
Something like that.
Well, I could pull up my video from yesterday, and it says I had the link in the description because I put all the links in the description for my video.
We talked about so much shit in our own chat.
Dead Crew 3 on Fund My Comic.
That's the one.
That's the one we didn't get to. That's the one we didn't get to talk to yesterday.
Holy shit! I totally thought we were talking about the other book. You'll have to go back to Peter's Street for that whole conversation.
No,
sorry,
we're not talking about that one again. We're talking about Dead Crew 3.
I'm cool with that. I am cool with this.
Jake absolutely said we are not talking about Pitter Patter available on Indiegogo. Totally worth.
He had some kind of rule where we're going to allow to mention
it. He said, "I'm gonna boot you if you bring that book up again."
Yeah.
All right, Dead Crew 3, by Tim Tyler.
I'm listening in. I'll be in. I'm going to be off camera for just a second, but I'm hearing you.
Cool. I'm going to copy this. I'll send it in the private chat and paste there.
All right.
Send the link to the private chat.
So this is over on Fund My Comic. It's called Dead Crew 3. We're going to take a look at it right now because he sent this to me directly and knew that I was going to have issues with it.
Well, I had issues with it. I like this is the kind of campaign I look at and go like, this could be cool. Like, I look at these campaigns, I'm like, this could be cool. And then the more I looked into it, the more questions I have, and that's not cool. I like getting answers, not questions when I go to these campaigns. Okay. All right. So we've got this Tim Tyler, 39-year vet of comics industry, Joe Kubert alumni, comics greet and comics collector of cool stuff, worked on, created such as titles as Blood Rain, nice, Razor, Faust, Dreadstar, Engine, Devil, Jack, and more. Okay.
All right. Dead Crew 3, a team of monster outcasts protect the world from things much worse than themselves. All right, cool.
Yeah, that sounds kind of cool.
I like the art.
I'm digging the art.
Yeah, the art's fun.
It's a mix of like Stripperella and female Loki from the Loki series. So I'm.
It's that '90s style. Like I'm good with that.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I can dig that.
There's Demon Etrigan in the back.
Okay, hold on, go up real quick because first thing to note, we're 19% funded. That's $95, 5 backers in 17 days. That's not horrible, but there's no end date.
Yeah, storefront. All right. So Dead Crew is my love letter to classic comic series like John Byrne's X-Men, Wolfman and Perez's New Teen Titans. We've heard that shit from everybody. Basically the Bronze Age of comics. Yada, yada, yada. Dead Crew was first published and introduced in the summer of 94. I hope to continue publishing Dead Crew beyond this 3rd issue. So this is the 3rd issue.
That's the other thing that pops out.
Let's mark that. That's a note. This is issue 3. I'm raising funds for the production of the book, mailing, and if possible, some new equipment so I continue producing comics.
20 issues plotted, and he's ready to go. Well,
I've been producing my own books for 39 years as of 2025. 2026 will be his 40th year. All right, so $12 plus shipping for Dead Crew 3 variant.
That cover
B.
on the right there. I like that cover.
So
yeah, it stood out to me.
Yeah, that's good art. I like that.
Also, $12, not bad. That leads to the next question
for variant B.
How many pages for $12? Because
it doesn't give you a page rate.
There's no page counts on this thing, and that's one of the things I'm always complaining about. Is like how many pages? Because this is a good price, but that's like, what am I going to?
It sucks that you have to do that. That really, you shouldn't have to ask, but there's the screw jobs out there. So it's fair to ask.
It's kind of it's one of the things that I talk about a lot on my show and everything, because I want people to get into crowdfunding, because crowdfunding is a lot of fun, man. Getting into these really cool books, it's awesome. But there have been enough incidences that I'm starting to create a list of check marks that I got to go through. Page count. I noticed things like this is book number 3. Okay, so I don't know this book. I'm going to want book number 1 and 2. If I do end up backing this, I want to get completely caught up, which could be a good thing, because that's a lot of material you could read. You get caught up on.
That's crazy, because book 1 and 2 aren't even fucking mentioned on this page.
They're not on the campaign at all. So I did some research. I think I found book 1 available on eBay, and varying prices everywhere from like $6 to like $20. I couldn't find book 2 at all. And that sucks, because that almost makes me not want to back it, just because I won't be caught up. I want to be able to get caught up. There's no.
It'd be nice if there was a 3-book option.
If he's got book 1 and 2 already done, he needs to get those things recolored, whatever he's got to do to get it, and then do that campaign, so that we can back those books and then have them available again on this campaign. That's kind of like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, if I'm peeved or whatever, it's not because I'm like, oh, this guy's, screw this guy. It's not like that. It's because I want to back this book, because the artwork looks pretty cool on the interiors. The story seems pretty cool. I like these covers.
And the price.
I want to get, and I like the price, depending on how big the book is. But I want to get into this book, and I have too many questions not answered.
What's the minimum page count that you're willing to accept at that price?
I said I would accept like 28 to 32 pages.
That's average.
And then they called me a monster. They said that's outrageous.
Who is they? Who is this anonymous they?
Though? His name, I'm not going to say his name, but I'll say it rhymes with Blake.
Is this a he, they?
Yeah, we'll call him Gigantic Bra. He said $12 was outrageous for a 24 or 28 page floppy. Was it you or Chris? No, it was you. It was totally you. I mean, it was Gigantic Bra that said that. Gigantic Bra.
Shut up. But anyway, so $12. It says plus shipping, but when I go down here and get ready to pledge, it shows $0 in shipping. So maybe it's just $12 for the first issue, but you still don't know the page count.
There was a book that didn't have shipping on it, and I backed it thinking, hell yeah, no shipping. And then after I backed it, after he closed it out, I was watching a stream with that guy on it, and then he said, I'm going to charge extra for shipping later down the line when I know what the shipping's going to be. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Your bank account might get an extra charge. And I was like, what? Oh, I might need to refund this.
It's arbitrary.
And then... I didn't refund it, but I couldn't have anyways because he closed it down. So there was no, and that's a huge red flag. Now, I don't remember what book that was, so I don't know if I ended up getting that book. But I don't think there's any books that I'm concerned about.
Dead Crew 1 right here.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong about all of this, but let's check it out. Is it going on right now?
It funded.
Okay.
Closed 384 days ago.
Can't back it anymore.
Funding is no longer available. Why would you not?
Oh, that does make sense. I saw that cover, the first one on the top there with the three. Anyways, I saw that. That was the one that I saw on eBay, and it did say crowdfund, so that makes sense. That green, blue, orange one.
That's a pretty cool cover. I like that.
I do kind of like that. It's like weird 70s looking.
That's Wolverine and Man-Bat infusion.
That book should be on this campaign. For anyone who's not familiar with this book and you want to get caught up. Now, what about part 2? I'm assuming there's a crowdfund for that too out there somewhere.
I didn't see an issue 2 over here on Fund My Comic.
That's weird that is hidden the way that it is, like part 2.
Yeah.
And I don't even see previous campaigns. Is there a thing on here about previous campaigns? Like Indiegogo has a look at their previous work, and you can kind of see if they fulfilled, and you have a little bit of you can tell if they've been successful. If they got 20 successfully funded campaigns, you're probably going to get your book, right?
He's got 9 campaigns that he's done.
Where do you see that at?
I'm showing it right now.
Where?
Like on the screen.
He backed one campaign, Wolf and Batsy, of course, Alterna.
You're not showing that screen. You're showing a different screen.
Oh shit! Hang on. Share
Don't
this
call
tab.
me stupid.
So when you click on Tim
Beta,
click on the person's avatar, it'll take you to campaigns created, campaigns backed. Campaigns he created were not.
Okay. All right.
I want to know who he backed.
We can. That's not a bad question, but I want to see what books he's done first.
No, he backed Wolf and Batsy 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, nice. That does look pretty good. I did not back that, and I'm kicking myself. Is it closed?
I'm not sure. Well, I'll check right now.
Oh, yeah.
Digging down a rabbit hole there, buddy.
I've got all the other Alterna Wolf and Batsy's.
Yeah, it's closed.
Ah, screw me. I'm like, I missed. Wolf and Batsy's a fun comic. I love that comic.
Oh, this guy created the Bolt comics that we looked at a while back.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Okay.
Which those came out, right?
Yeah, those came out.
How did that campaign look in comparison to this one?
Bolt Action. They were both unique. They both were kind of black and white. But Bolt Action, I actually liked. I think the story intrigued me more than the art.
Here's another one. Raised in 9 months, 540. So how many campaigns does he have running at the moment? This actually looks pretty cool. Bolt Action looks pretty cool. I might have to pull this one up.
I like that. That's Boss from Kemosabe's company, man. That's Boss right there, 100%.
I like how he does that background. I
saw
did
that too.
In the other one
that
too,
caught my attention.
I like that.
That is. It's a good way of putting the central character up front and foremost with a lot of action going on.
Too many people think they have to color that background in completely.
Yeah.
This art's good. Well, the Bolt comics have excellent art.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking at
I love this issue 3 cover right here.
I'm looking at Bolt Action 4 right now. Okay, because I didn't see the other one.
You're getting ahead of me.
Well, I was looking at this is the first one that I saw, so I clicked on it. Engine 1. Again, I wish I could see the ones that were actually active, but right now. But
yeah.
Dead Crew 1, Dead Crew 3. I don't see a campaign for Dead Crew 2.
Yeah, that's weird.
But Bolt Action looks great. Like, is there an option for all the previous books? Bolt Action 4, regular cover, 4 regular cover, 4 regular cover. I don't see anything for previous books on his current live campaign. That's a problem.
But if you go to the Bolt Action 1, 2, 3, you can still get it at the storefront.
Oh, okay. So that's why it's not on part 4 on the fourth one.
Storefront, no end date for Bolt Action 1, 2, and 3.
I might actually go back and I might go back those. Does it have page counts on there? Like these are solid right here. These are what I like to see. A lot of art. I see a lot of cool stuff to look at.
You can get Bolt 1 through. You can get Bolt 1 through 3 for $35.
Even if it's $10 or $12 a copy.
I like that.
I like that. That's $3.
I'd like it better if that was like $30, just because, like you saved that few dollars at 12 a piece. But the fact that he hid the second one and fits it in.
If it's 20, even if it's 20 pages a book, it's not.
Yeah,
I still like 24 pages. That's like 60 plus pages for $30. That's what we're talking about. We're like, I want to see a lot of work.
What's the minimum page count you've ever seen on a book?
12, 10.
Yeah,
wow,
but you
those guys are
ash cans.
Like
you
ash
call
can.
those like.
But I've seen them. I've seen people try to push a $10 ash can. We actually talked about it either on Dojo's show or one of mine. Hey, man, we may not be right all the time. We may not be 100% like right, but this, as a backer, these are the things I'm looking for after noticing problems in previous campaigns. So,
and just understand this. My 2 cents on this, because I don't know the first thing what I'm fucking talking about. Sure. But you're coming out with a book. You're going to have assholes like this talking about it. Yeah, and this is the things they're going to be saying.
And that's why I'm doing it. I might be the asshole talking about it, but that's kind of the point, right? If I'm looking at books, there might be 100 reasons why a thing is on one of these campaigns that I don't know because I'm a backer and I notice and I'm like, oh, that's a red flag for me. And I might not. I don't know the reason. I don't care about the reason. Most of the time, I don't really care. But
D-Wag said that he's taking notes. He's trying to figure out and set up everything for his first book, Reckoned pre-course.
Nice.
He's talking about Jeremy's Beckoned recourse.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, another one. Hang on. I might do my other Ninja Cop theme book first, Mobile.
Just don't have 8 pages of exposition, interviews in comic book format do not work. They are.
If you wait just a couple of years, you can get Cobalt. It'll be what is that? Public domain.
Whatever.
Oh, you know what? I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of Cobalt. I was thinking of that other book. That's funny. Cobalt.
But
just don't set it in the future. It's in the near distant future.
And add a multiverse.
Nah, set it in the
multiverse. Set it in the West, where he's like a ninja Western cop, and he's got to fight like steampunk cyborgs.
I swear.
And don't hire James Gunn.
Yeah, no shit. All right, let's go back to
All
this.
right. So you know what? When it comes, I don't know what's going on with Dead Crew 3. Bolt Action nailed it. Like that book looks freaking awesome. And the price is right. Everything looks cool. I might go back all 4 of those because that's what, like $50 for 4 comics. That ain't bad.
I've got a question. I
wonder how long I'm gonna have to wait because it's a never-ending storefront. But he's got a lot of books under his belt.
Right.
For anybody who's watching right now, not these guys, I don't give a fuck about what you have to say about this. But for anybody who's watching right now in the comments, in the chat, whatever the case may be, I am very curious to hear. Hold on. Bring up that screen again.
I just deleted it. Hang on. Hang on.
You got the blonde with the big hair. I want to know whose voice am I hearing with that character? I want to know who's the voice that I'm hearing for this character right here.
Ali Sanguis.
What?
I don't see Ali's voice for that.
Yes. 100%.
Actually, the more I look at it, the more I can hear Ali's voice for that.
Dude, don't listen to them. I want to hear your opinion. I don't want to hear theirs.
Oh my God.
I want to hear your thoughts on this. Seriously.
But she needs like fangs. Like Allie's kind of got like these natural fangs.
Does she have sideburns?
No.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm kidding.
She's a cutie.
Yeah, she's all right. There's some drama surrounding her. She's got that book Egg Beater. We've looked at Egg Beater.
Drama around everybody. It's old shit now.
I like blondes. True. I like the big hair. So I just want to hear, like, is everybody hearing, like, if I hear a single person say, like, Anna Paquin, I will shit myself.
No, this is totally
I don't hear Anna Paquin.
What's that young singer's name that came from Girl Meets World? The best friend of the character Riley.
Maitland Ward?
No.
She became a porn star, by the way.
Definitely not her then.
That's what I'm saying, man. I was seeing Pamela Anderson, but maybe because she looks like Pamela.
Oh, that's an obvious choice. Don't do that.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like the first thing that popped in my head. I mean, I could be like,
So I say, like, I love Rogue in the comic books, and I liked Rogue. Yeah. Whoever did the voicing of Rogue in the first X-Men series, in the animated series. Not to say the new one was terrible, but the first, like, from the 90s series, like, that voice actor, like, I liked that voice. And I see that with this, and I've never heard anybody, and I've listened, like, I have watched a lot of, like, My Little Pony, and I've never, like, the new, whatever, like, the cartoons that my daughter's all into, if I watch them specifically for her, and I've
Ghostbusters. That girl in Ghostbusters.
Kristen Wiig.
That real strong accent. I could see that.
I just found out who the girl I was talking about. Her name's Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but okay.
Girls don't have as all right. So like girl actresses, whatever. They don't have as wide-ranging voice. I mean, they do in cartoons, but in movies, girls don't tend to have like these real distinct voices. You could almost put any one of their voices on, like Lilu. I just take her voice and put it on. Ripley.
I can see Lilu.
Let's put Lilu's voice on like Ripley and everybody else. Like Ripley's got kind of a scratchier voice or whatever, like more tough voice. But
that's totally sexist. If you put Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice on me, it'd be like, duh.
Who's the female Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's what I'm saying. We've got the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, we got the Stallones, we've got all these James Earl Jones. How many voices does the girl side have?
We had her. Her name was China from WWF.
China.
Oh, give me a second. There's got to be the chick. I know it's animated.
I'm gonna fuck you up. That was China, right?
Animated, like
well, animated.
Anything Scottish, Scottish or Irish.
Well, so The Simpsons has they're all like girls at voicing that show.
What's her name? Siegel.
Voice actresses. They own it. But when it comes to film,
what's her name for Married with Children? Something Siegel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Catherine Siegel or something.
Yeah,
from Lilu.
That's a good call. She's
that is a good one. She is a good voice actress. Yeah.
Futurama, Leela.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Diaz from Shrek. Because she's the name you remember from Shrek.
I don't remember what voice she is.
Yeah,
Fiona.
She's Fiona's voice.
Yes.
She's right up there with Eddie Murphy and what's
Eddie
his name?
Murphy's another one of voices though that's distinct.
It
Honestly,
is, yeah.
you could
It plays
put
into your argument.
You could put any voice of any female voice on
Caitlyn
that
Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner.
I like that.
Oh, Melissa McCarthy. She'd be a good voice actress.
Was Melissa McCarthy the one that died, the Sin City girl that died?
No, that's Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy.
She was good. She's a good example. Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy is not a good example of unique voice. She's like a unique face.
She was
I disagree. She has a couple of roles that you're like, that's Brittany Murphy, voice wise.
No,
who played Barbie?
No,
Barbie has.
Brittany Murphy did the voiceover for the niece in King of the Hill. That was her.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, but again, that's
Hank.
That's fair.
Sexiest animated niece ever.
But like I said, when it comes to cartoons, it's a little different. You've got the girl that plays Rogue. It's kind of it's like 50-50 when it comes to cartoons.
Right.
But there's no actress out there with a unique, distinct voice like we have on the guy's side.
The voice for Tommy from Rugrats was a girl.
No, the voice from Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Brothers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that for
the voice.
The mom from Bob's Burgers.
Oh
yeah, right. So you pulled up this one. This is from Bolt Action 4, dude. This is a cool cover right here.
Yeah,
I can't scroll too far down.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's
very Andy Warhol.
There's like a page that I can't show right here. This one I can't show that because it's got nibs.
Yeah. Don't show that.
Sorry, Jake's channel.
It's okay. I'm sure I'm going to get copyright stricken anyway.
Oh yeah, probably. Roseanne Barr. All right, that's a good one. She does have an annoying, and I've liked.
I was going to say Fran Drescher. Fran Drescher, dude.
Yeah, okay, Fran. That's another one. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong.
Get that nasally shit out of here.
You don't have. You don't have the. I don't think there are as many, or at least they're not as iconic. Although
the voice of Gohan in Dragon Ball Z was a chick.
Rogue.
Gohan. I thought Gohan was a chick. Yeah, Rogue's a good one. That was in the cartoon. That was a great voice.
To be fair. So hear me out on this because I know exactly everybody's eyes are going to. I can already feel it. But the voice actresses from My Little Pony, I know, but there's only like 3 of them that did all those voices, and they did a lot of other stuff that
with the cartoons. There's like 3 girls that do all the voices for almost every cartoon out there,
like Jem and
Tara Strong. She did
Tara Strong. I think she owns part of My Little Pony.
She did My Little Pony. She did Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. She did Raven from
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. She's done a lot. She was Harley Quinn for the Arkham series.
Yes, yeah. Oh, Mark Hamill. If we're going to talk about chicks,
Harley Quinn. Yeah, that's a good one, Mark Hamill.
Got you, Mark.
Harley Quinn, the original Harley Quinn, not the new Harley Quinn.
The original Harley Quinn passed away already. I couldn't get her autograph.
Oh, that's sad.
That is unfortunate.
We need a new one of those because that's a unique voice. I could go to bed listening to that yell at me.
Yeah.
Go do the dishes. No, it's got to be a Jersey accent. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even do my accents suck anyways.
I can do Irish. I can't do Jersey. Nobody wants that.
Let's get through Bolt 4. Let's get this.
Okay.
Bolt 4, $15 for cover C. This one right here is the one I would get. Cover B.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
$10. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Is it $10? Yeah, $10 right here. Nice. That's a good price for a book. How many pages? Does it have page count on here?
Of course not.
No, you got to throw that page count on there, man, because this could be an ash can.
It's a safety net.
I don't think it's an ash can, but it could be an ash can. And then it's like, well, I didn't put the page count on there. And I've seen it happen. I had to dig on. There was one book that I had to ask the guy, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, how many pages is this? Because I want to know, like,
7.
it's like it was like $15. It's like that's a small book. Like that's a cheap price. So this sounds great, man. Like how can you get away with so cheap? And he's like, well, it's only 10 pages. It's an ash can.
That's fucking.
It's only 3 pages.
Yeah, right. Okay, and it was it might have even been mini, like an actual ash can, like a little half size.
Right.
And I'm like, I could go to a copy machine and do. And I thought about doing that. Not charging $10 though, like doing a quick campaign just so I can get the licensing or the copyright and shit, right? Or what do you call it, the trademark? I was thinking about doing an ash can and then just going to Kinko's and just printing a bunch up and charging like $3, maybe like $5 plus shipping or something, $1 for shipping, something like that. And then you'd have a unique item that if there was ever a collector's item, it's going to be the first printing ever, and there's a limited number. That's the kind of thing you'd want, right? So Bolt Action looks cool, but Dead Crew, man, this one needs some work. It needs some love. I want to know a little bit more about this, because I do dig this cover here. This is a cool cover.
Real quick, it's FYI, guys. I'm at 3% battery, so if I just like drop off, it wasn't like a personal thing here. It wasn't because I disagreed with your opinions. Even if I do, that's not what's happening.
No, we're about to drop off anyway.
Yeah. This looks cool. Look at these interiors. And I can already tell this guy in the middle here is going to be that cool effect that we were talking about earlier.
That is some great artwork.
Yeah, it's fun. I like the colors. The artwork, I'm like, okay, I kind of dig the art. But it's the way he adds that art with these colors that I really like. It's a good mix, and that's hard to find these days. Like when something pops and really, you got a good colorist with an artist, a good artist, and they work well together. That's a hard thing to find, man.
Yeah.
So I actually want to get behind this because I like all this alien, weird looking stuff. This is a cool cover.
That was an unfinished interior.
Why do you say that? Oh, because of the word bubbles?
Yeah.
Well, that's just because he doesn't want to give away the script. See, some people don't put the word bubbles on their campaigns so that you don't get the script. You can just see the art.
I don't put it on.
But because this is clearly hand drawn, you got to draw them word bubbles in there. So you just didn't put the words or whited them out or something. That's my guess.
I understand that. I'm not against it. It's not something that waves like a red flag or something. It's just one of those things that to me is like it just caught my attention is all.
It is something to make note of. It's not a wrong thing to say, because if you were getting into backing, that's going to be something you got to expect people to think of.
Yeah,
we've seen enough campaigns that we're like, oh, that's probably what's going on. But newbies, people coming in, they're going to be like, well, what the hell? I'm not going to get any words with this comic book. I have to fill in the script too. Jesus, you want me to color it for you?
Well, even Comic Storian, when he does his YouTube videos of animated comic scenes, he takes out the words so he can put his own voiceover on it. So it's not uncommon. It's just, it looks like a placeholder for where they would put the lettering because they want to show you how they're using the space.
And that's why you come to watch shows like us, right? Both our channels. That's this channel and then my channel.
So you can learn something.
Yeah. You can know what to expect, what to look for, at least from our perspective,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, or you could be one of them guys that only backs the big creators, and you'll be safe. You'll get your good stories. You'll get good artwork. It'll be probably a collector's item. But there's a lot of cool books out there that you'd be missing out on.
I'll say it, and we can even make an episode on next time. If you only back the big guys, you're not an indie comic guy.
That's a pretty spicy take there, Jake.
Yeah, I said it.
That was me for a minute, and then I started looking into these indie books.
Yeah,
and this is just like our neck of the woods. I want to find indie books across not the spectrum. That's a horrible. I want to find the indie books across the globe, all across the land. I know there's stuff out there, and we got to bring them in, right? We got to find them and bring them in and talk about great books such as Pitter Patter. Pitter Patter was a great read, by the way.
Appreciate everybody being here today. Thank you so much. I had to get Pitter Patter out of there for you. And before you go, just one more little detail. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here to the Bionic Truck channel. And don't forget to subscribe to the Peter Orchard Studios channel.
Peter Orchard Studios. I put all my links in the description.
We love you all. Ow.